Go. That's a good one. You got you a nice one there, bud.
Yeah, this is a good one, Gray.
Oh, look at that fish. Man, what a spot. You swing him in, Brett? You want me to get him for you?
Let me think. What do you think?
Bring him on in here. There you go,
buddy.
Look at that chunky spot, boy.
Some, dude.
That's what I'm talking about.
Golly, that was a thumper.
There's a jig fish.
That was a thumper, boy, just like,
That's a chunk right there.
That's what I've been waiting on all day.
That's what you've been waiting on all day.
You've been whacking them on that dang trap, boy. And I'm telling you, man, people just don't realize, man, I've been a trooper. That's your kind of fishing in there, because I don't fish it very much. But
right.
I'm back out here in an element where I feel comfortable, you know. And folks, that's what it's about. You know, you're in there, your confidence this morning was you knew where we need to go to get some good stuff for people to learn. And I learned a lot today, because you forced me to throw that trap, and I caught 2 fish on a trap that I never would have caught. But that's what I've been coming out here for.
That's what you were looking for.
I've been waiting on him, boy. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna pull a Jimmy Houston, and so thank you very much for that, because it's been a struggle. For me, it has.
It's been a long time coming today.
But that's a beautiful
pretty fish
right there, man. Really, really pretty fish.
Magnum spot. There he is.
There's that one.
On the T-Mac.
Get him in.
It's a feisty one. There he is.
That's a good one, boy.
On the T-Mac, on the HBT, shaky head.
Spotted bass.
There's my shaky head fish.
There it is, finally. You've been talking about it all day.
I've been missing them all day.
You've been talking about it. That last one broke you off.
Oh, chunky spot. That was a big one I broke off. I finally hooked up with one.
Well, Greg, I'm going to put things in perspective for people out there. Most people are going, good Lord, how big are these fish? And that's a below average or average spot.
Average spot
on this lake.
Yeah.
On any other lake, mostly around this area, that would be a giant spotted bass.
That's a quad. I mean, that fish is over 2 pounds. And again, folks, look at the belly on these fish.
Absolutely.
Lake Jordan is in such great shape right now. The largemouth and the spots, they're doing great. But man, I tell you what, I've caught so many fish on the shaky head with this green pumpkin red net bait T-Mac.
Absolutely.
So I've been wanting to show fish the bait and that we can catch them on it for the folks that didn't already know. But there he is. And he
are
just
you
destroyed my worm.
Folks, are you excited about that right there?
I am.
Hey, throw him on my line. I'll see if I can catch him.
Right. Hey everybody, welcome back to Sportz Outdoors. Hey, this is the tackle tip presented by Davis Bait Company. Hey, you know, in this week's show, we caught a lot of fish on a lipless crankbait, and I like to use the term rattle trap, or traps for short. But when you hear that term, you know, it refers to a lipless crankbait, and it's a real narrow-bodied bait. And the great thing about them is they just make so much noise. And now what a lot of people don't realize is how many different types of baits there are in this lipless category. In fact, this particular one is made by Yozuri, but one of the earlier models, and where the trap term comes from, is from the rattle trap, Bill Lewis rattle traps. And this is probably the most popular color, and this is actually a 3/4 ounce size, but this chrome blueback is probably the old standby for most people when they throw a rattle trap, lipless crankbait. And that's usually what I start out with when I'm looking for fish with this type of bait. But on today's show, we started out with a gold, and this particular one is a Yozuri. It's a little bit more high pitch, got a real nice finish to it, a little bit of a shiny finish to it, and that works really great in sunny conditions. And so I do really well when it's sunny with these shiny type baits, the gold and the chromes and things like that. But each one of these baits has a different sound, and that's what you got to really think about. Is not all of them are the same. They don't have the same action when they're coming through the water. They don't all make the same sound. They also weigh different. Here I've got a Cordell Spot. Now this Cordell Spot is really great for fishing shallower or more dense vegetation because it falls really slow, and you'll notice across the back that it's wider. So this bait's going to have a lot more of a wobble as it's coming through the water. And then the slower fall allows you to fish over more dense vegetation. And sometimes when the water's colder, you can rip this bait and that slow fall will catch fish that some of these others won't. But what we ran into in the show today was we started out with a bait that I'd been catching some fish on, the gold. And, you know, we were having trouble catching fish. And I started thinking about, well, you know, what's going on today? And we're really struggling, to be honest with you. And so we had to make a color change. So we went from this shiny color to more of a crawfish pattern. And here's the bait. Here's the setup that we did so well on in the show today. This is a crawfish pattern, and this is a Bill Lewis rattle trap, and you can see it's got some battle scars on it. And while I'm on that subject, let me mention something about the hooks, because this is really important with these lipless crankbaits. A lot of them, in my opinion, don't come with the best hooks on them. And I always change them out, and I put number 4 Mustad Ultra Point trebles on there, round bend trebles. And I think it makes a huge difference in how many fish you can catch and how many fish you can land because of the nature of this bait. So always keep that in mind with any kind of lipless crankbait. You need to have those good, sharp, round bend, number 4 treble hooks. The setup that I was using today on today's show was a G Loomis, and it's a 6'9", extra fast, and it's actually a spinnerbait rod. And the reason I chose this spinnerbait rod is because we were fishing some vegetation on Lake Jordan, and I wanted to be able to rip that crankbait out of that stuff when it got hung in there. So the heavier action of this compared to a crankbait rod allows me to rip the bait out, but it's just soft enough that I can hook and land fish, and that's really, really important. The other thing I used was this 7-to-1 ratio Curado reel. Allowed me to burn the bait. It doesn't wear out my wrists, wear out my arms. So that's something to really keep in mind, is this 7-to-1 reel makes all the difference in the world when you're making all those casts all day long. You can cover a lot more water and have a whole lot less fatigue. So just keep these things in mind, folks. Next time you're on a pre-spawn pattern, you want to throw a lipless crankbait, just remember that you got to experiment with the different sizes, different colors, different rates of fall on these baits, and you'll have more success. And that's your tackle tip presented by Davis Bait Company.